So today I stumbled on this article. I thought it was extremely interesting. I made some points here and I want to weigh in that subject as it is. It's a subject matter and it's relevant to everybody, right? I think marriage today is like getting a tattoo. You know how you're like 18 and you're just growing up into the world, you're trying to establish your identity and you in these groups and you feel the need to do what they do for whatever reason so you could have acceptance. I feel like a lot of people are getting married because they're being peer pressured by society. We're gonna see how, just based on these statistics, you'll see why this makes sense. How fast people are getting divorced. Every 13 seconds, there is a divorce in America, which equates to 277 divorces per hour, 6,646 per day, 46,523 divorces per week, and 2,419,196 divorces per year. I mean, I find these statistics very amusing. While a couple is reading their vows within that 2 minutes period, there is about 9 divorces. People normally ask me, why am I not married? I don't know if it's because I'm smart or I'm just able to read a little more into the giving scenarios and situation. I try to stay away from such things because I can see the fallacy in getting married, getting entangled with the state and a woman in the West. 2 people and the state is involved, then there's a third party in that relationship that's accounted for. And that's what I've been afraid of, which kind of keep me away from getting married. All right, so those numbers are obviously are ridiculous. 67% of first marriage terminate over a 40-year period. That means this has been going on for a while, and it's only getting worse. 15% of adults in the United States are divorced or separated today, compared with less than 1% in 1920. Times are changing. Actually, there's an interesting point that I really want to make as to why divorce is promoted and why do I think divorce is analogous to getting a tattoo and then realize you've just mocked your skin for a long time. You made a permanent decision in a way during a temporary emotion, pretty much. The average of first marriage that ends in divorce lasts about 8 years. So your first marriage have a top shelf of 8 to 10 years. After 8 to 10 years, it's almost a guarantee that I've seen that with people I know. This is real stuff because I've seen it firsthand. Okay, who's getting divorced and why are they getting divorced? Okay, let's see that. The average age for couples going through their first divorce is 30. So 60% of all divorces involve individuals aged 25 to 39. So all those people who quickly get married before they mature end up in a divorce afterwards because why wouldn't they? People's mind change. Preference and people change. When I was 25, I was a whole other person, and right now I'm a whole new person. Perspective change, beliefs, the way you see the world, a lot of things change. And when you get married young, you kind of, been pressured by society to be married, but not that you know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. Because if you did, then you would stick it through. But obviously you didn't. So you feel like you need to relinquish yourself from such bondage when you feel like you didn't go through it yourself. Or you get my drift. At 66%, wives are the one who are actually getting a divorce. Makes sense. Women are the one who are getting divorced. Why? A lot of time because they're married to men who perhaps may not be able to provide or whom they see they could get more benefit from the state and have more freedom than to be with the person they are married to. So why would you stay married to someone when you have lots of incentive to not stay married to them? You could get your own apartment, Section 8, you could get food stamp, you could get the state to practically take care of you. And then on top of that, you can impose child support and alimony on the person that you're married. So if there's any slight disagreement between you guys, obviously you already have a go-to. A lot of people may say that's not true, but from how I see it, the state actually promote divorce because it benefit them. Promote the marriage, then of course followed by divorce due to the giving arguments. Let's go down here. So here's some of the reason why people are getting divorced. A lack of commitment is at 73%. Argue too much at 56%. Infidelity at 55%. Married too young, 46%. Unrealistic expectations, 45%. A lack of equality in the relationship at 44%. Lack of preparation for marriage at 41%. Domestic violence or abuse at 25%. So let's hit lack of commitment. I mean, it has become too easy. The sexual marketplace in the United States is absolutely deregulated. Now, the thought culture is obviously being promoted. I mean, they're slut walk. When women start to admire women like Marilyn Monroe, Amber Rose, Kim Kardashian, Nicki Minaj, pretty much just the thought culture, not women of value. When women start to admire those types of women, well, lack of commitment is gonna be at 73%. I'm not saying that men aren't the one cheating, but women are cheating more than men. Women will cheat and eventually run off with the person that they cheated with, as opposed to the men will just simply cheat because probably just want to fuck a new pussy and then move on and then go back to his wife. Yeah, infidelity is at 55%. So it's hard to commit these days when the thought culture is what's really promoted. And because of the materialistic world, it's very easy to have infidelity. I mean, it's so easy for women. Here's a nice statistics, right? 60% of women that has lived with a man before marriage will end up in a marriage. However, they are also likely to become divorced later on in the future. Living with the person before marriage does not guarantee that you guys will have a long-lasting marriage. Women who lost their virginity during their teenage years are more than twice likely to get divorced. Women that has more than 6 sexual partners before marriage are likely to not be able to peer bond, pretty much keep one man in their lives. I think Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about that. Unfortunately for women, they're not the same as men in that regard. Focus on their career, becoming